All right, thank you all for being here for the official weigh-in for UFC 263, Adesanya versus Vettori 2. First fighter to the scale, competing live on pay-per-view here tomorrow night in the UFC's welterweight division. Third-ranked contender, Leon Rocky Edwards. £170.5, the official weight for Leon Edwards. All right, next fighter to the scale, taking part in our co-headliner for the UFC Men's Flyweight Championship, the #1 contender out of Tijuana, Mexico, Brandon Moreno. $125, the official weight for Brandon Moreno. All right, next fighter to the scale, taking part in his first UFC title fight here tomorrow night, the #3 ranked middleweight contender, the Italian Dream, Marvin Vettori. £184.5, the official weight for Marvin Vettori. All right, next fighter to the scale, competing in a prelim live on ESPN in the UFC's lightweight division, Matt the Steamroller Fribola. $155, the official weight for Matt Frivola. All right, next fighter to the scale, one half of the feature, prelim live on ESPN in the UFC's lightweight division, 13th ranked contender, Drew Dober. $154, the official weight for Drew Dober. All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC women's bantamweight division, one of the game's foremost veterans, Alexis Davis. £134.5, the official weight for Alexis Davis. All right, next fighter to the scale. He is the 15th ranked featherweight in the world at present, Mean Hakeem Dawodu. £145.5, the official weight for Hakeem Dawodu. All right, next fighter to the scale. She is the 11th ranked UFC women's bantamweight contender, Pannie Kianzad. $135.5, the official weight for Pannie Kianzad. All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC's lightweight division, set to make his promotional debut here tomorrow night. Please welcome Terrence McKinney. $155.5, the official weight for Terrence McKinney. All right, next fighter to the scale, set to compete live on pay-per-view tomorrow night, the 12th ranked UFC welterweight contender, Belal, remember the name, Muhammad. £170.5, the official weight for Belal Muhammad. All right, next fighter to weigh in the UFC's featherweight division, Chase Hooper. $145.5, the official weight for the Dream, Chase Hooper. All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC's light heavyweight division, charged with kicking off the pay-per-view main card here tomorrow night. He is 15th ranked, Jamal Hill. £205.5 the official weight for Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill. All right, next fighter to the scale, 14th ranked in the UFC's featherweight division. He is Movsar Evloev. $145.5 the official weight for Movsar Evloev. All right, next fighter to the scale has a massive fight on our hands here tomorrow night in the UFC women's flyweight division, 3rd ranked Lauren Murphy. $125.5 the official weight for Lauren Murphy. All right, next fighter to the scale, set to compete live on pay-per-view tomorrow night, 14th ranked in the UFC's light heavyweight division. He is Paul Bear Jew Craig. $204.5 the official weight for Paul Craig. All right, next athlete to the scale in the UFC's lightweight division, Fares Ziam. £156, the official weight for Fares Ziam. All right, next fighter to the scale is one of the biggest superstars in the sport and the man many of you came to see, the mixed martial arts legend, Nathan Diaz. £170, the official weight for Nate Diaz. All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC's lightweight division, we welcome Luigi Vendramini. (155 1/2 pounds, the official weight for Luigi Vendramini. All right, next fighter to the scale, 6th ranked in the UFC women's flyweight division, Joanne Calderwood. (125), the official weight for Joanne Calderwood. All right, next fighter to the scale, competing in the UFC's light heavyweight division here tomorrow night, Darren the Dentist Stewart. (204.5), the official weight for the Dentist, Darren Stewart. And his opponent, Eric "Ya Boy" Anders. (205 pounds, the official weight for Anders. All right, next fighter to the scale, first fight of the night live on ESPN and UFC heavyweight division, Carlos Felipe. (62.5), the official weight for Carlos Felipe. And his opponent at heavyweight tomorrow night will be Jake the Prototype Collier. (264.5), the official weight, Jake Collier. hot coffee, my sea cold coffee. Is that okay? All right, next fighter to the scale, the 9th-ranked UFC welterweight contender, set to make his 33rd UFC appearance here tomorrow night, the legend, Demian Maia. 170 and 1/2 pounds, the official weight for Damian Maia.
There we are. Let's see. There we go. All right, you guys. Now we can have a little bit of a Q&A. Can you hear me, Alan? As we wait here for the final 4 fighters, as you can see on the bottom, Israel Adesanya, Deiveson Figueiredo, Riddell, Steven Peterson. No weight misses so far, which is great to see. Under the hour mark, 45 minutes, 46 to be exact, here at the live official weigh-ins, UFC 263. Let's see here. Set it up like that. So, yeah, you always love when things go by quickly, but still got 4 more people coming. So, yeah. Which fight are you most excited for tomorrow night, you guys? I'd love to hear from you. Let me see how I can set this up better. Yeah, I'm going off my phone, if you couldn't tell. There we go. And then you can see the camera, what we're working with. Good fun. All right. What do we got here? Thoughts really quickly on Scott Coker saying MVP makes the most sense for the next title challenger at welterweight after tonight. Not surprising. I mean, he's been saying that MVP should be the guy, if not the guy, to face Larkin for a while now, right? And if you're going to go by those silly Bellator rankings, MVP is what, he's at 2, and he was at 1 when they first began. So there's that. So yeah, not surprising. Interesting. It could be a little bit of a move from Coker to be like, hey, we want you back, man, because MVP's a free agent right now. So letting him know we got a nice shiny title waiting for you potentially. Not to say that he will win, of course, but yeah. So is what it is. I think that could be, definitely a negotiation tactic. Then Alan here adds, even though tonight we got Jason Jackson versus Paul Daly, which is, I think, should be a title eliminator, even though it's a catch weight. I mean, for Jason Jackson, definitely, that guy is rolling right now. I'd have to pull up his record, but I don't remember what his last loss was. He's killing it. Looked great against Benson. If he beats Paul Daly, who just had a fight of the year candidate with Hamasi, then yeah, that'd be something. So I agree. I think that he makes for a good choice, but I think we're about to get another person coming out here. So hold on. Oh, and I can actually hear through here. This is perfect. I should have done this to begin. It's more fun to be able to interact with you guys as well. So thank you for tuning in. This is SCMP MMA. If you're new here, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Got all your UFC 263 content. I am Drake Riggs at Drake Riggs _ on Twitter. If you don't know me, hello, nice to meet you. Maybe not getting somebody just yet. People moving around. Yes. So any questions, concerns, comments you might have, those tuning in, please feel free to ask away, share, whatever you got. Sorry about that. All right, what you got? MVP was at 1 probably because he was the biggest name, and they had Amasab at 2 or 3, and they dropped the rankings. Silly. Could get into the rankings all day, but we don't got time for that, man. Yeah, funny how he didn't lose or anything, and they flip-flopped him. Don't understand. So I believe they confirmed Pitbull versus McKee for July 30th. Yes, they did. I didn't see the date, but I did see that it was confirmed, and one of the best fights, one of the best matchups in MMA period, across the board, along with Tofik and Satoshi Allen, in my opinion. I think that one, along with Romero and Nemkov, those three are the best matchups in MMA right now, period. Nothing better than those three. I cannot wait for all those fights. Pitbull versus McKee is just so perfect for Bellator. Shameless plug, I actually talked all about this on my last episode of Drake's Takes over at the Body Lux YouTube channel. If you want to check that out at some point. Not now, though, because you're at SCMP MMA. Check out all the stuff here first. But you can go over to your friends at the Body Lock, where I do plenty of videos with Pat Auger and everybody, and have my own podcast, Drake's Takes, where I talk about things that aren't as mainstream. So yeah, I actually talked all about those two, that fight and the others I mentioned over there on the last one before I left here to Arizona. So, and how about that, Alan? I think you threw this out here before I even said that. So we're on the same wavelength, buddy. How do I think Rumble will do against Nemkov, though? It's hard to say. No reason to think that he won't do good. But I don't know. It's interesting because Nemkov is phenomenal. I think that he has a case to be the very best light heavyweight in the world right now. And in that Phil Davis rematch that we just saw, Phil did good. More towards the end, his volume and output was pretty low, and no takedown threat. Which this is Phil Davis, so what are you doing, man? Like, Phil really drops the ball there. And as a supporter of Phil Davis, that was a bummer to see, but I do like Nemkov as well. All these light heavyweights in Bellator are pretty fun, especially Jose Augusto, who, look at that guy coming out of nowhere and stealing the show. But yeah, Rumble, of course, can put anyone's lights out. If he gets aggressive against Nemkov, who looked the way he did against Davis, in that rematch that we just saw, he should be able to have success, but speed advantage probably goes to Nemkov. It's so interesting, dude. It's so hard to predict, and that's what I love about it. Like, I think that the adversity Rumble went through against Augusto, that was a big deal, and that was important for him to go through that, especially after the layoff, coming out of retirement, all that. So, yeah, I cannot wait for that one. Guys, so here, let me do a tweet real quick, since I'm trying to get more people in here. Hopefully I don't screw anything up, though. So give me a moment. I already tweeted out the link, but just to let people know that now I'm in as we're waiting. We have an hour and 6 more minutes left, potentially, depending on how things shake out here. So give me a minute, you guys. I'm not looking at the chat if you're chatting. So one moment. Hope that link is right. Yes, there it is. Apologies, everybody. You can only do so much at one time, as you can see. All right. There's the tweet. Let's see. Did it work? Looks good. Looks good. Better than nothing. Maybe somebody can hop on and join as well. All right. Where do we leave off? So, Alan mentioning Rumble Nemkov. He says, I'd argue Pitbull versus McKee should be a Showtime pay-per-view just to the quality of fight, but I don't think it would do good numbers, but talent-wise makes sense. I think 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you. And as I said, if you check out that recent episode, shameless plug again, of Drake's Takes, episode, I think that was 5, that I did before this week. yeah, that fight they need to treat that as the biggest deal possible, because that is arguably the biggest fight in Bellator history, especially when you look at Bellator stars that were homegrown and like Bellator guys, right? Like you could argue, I think, that Mousasi and McDonald, and then maybe more along the lines of what I just said, Alvarez and Chandler too. I wouldn't say the first fight because that was still finding out who Chandler was right there, but the rematch was very big. But yeah, Mousasi and McDonald, obviously not the same caliber of Bellator guys, being from the promotion through and through, like McKee and Pitbull are. Just all these records that they have for the promotion, all the fights that they have for it. That's a massive deal for them, and it's just perfect, especially at the end of a tournament. I completely agree, Alan, and stack it up. If they are concerned about the numbers, which I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of people are really hyped about this. They both have really good followings. I think it could be fine as a standalone and a weaker card, but you go all out on that thing, you're gonna be fine. And I mean, Bellator this year, since coming back, these cards have all been very solid, very, very solid. I think the pandemic has actually helped them with having things less watered down. Like less regional kind of newcomer guys. Because if you look back at Bellator before the pandemic, the shows, they had a lot of, not debutantes, but a lot of prospects that really people had yet to hear of filling out those prelims. Like their cards were around fucking 18 fights long or whatever. Generally, around that many. So really curious to see what they do for Pitbull versus McKee, because that's a doozy. So imagine July 30th, Pitbull versus McKee main event, co-main Rumble. Oh my goodness, if you put all those on one, that would be right in line with what we're talking about here. But I don't know. I'd be a little surprised if Rumble and Nemkov is on that same card, just because you can spread that out nicely. But I don't know. We will find out. Seems we're about to be getting somebody. So, that's not. Let's see. Maybe not. Maybe not. Same night. It wouldn't be a bad move, but might be a surprising one. That's not what I'd predict. But like I said, if you want to go all out, as you should.
All right, next fighter to the scale is the man around whom this fight card was built. The undisputed UFC middleweight champion, the last style bender, Israel Adesanya. £183.5, the official weight for the champ, Israel Adesanya.
All right, so there was your middleweight champion of the world, Israel Adesanya, weighing in right there. That leaves us with three fighters left. Now, how do I go back to? Oh, there we are. There we are. We're back. So yeah, look good as always. Always a little bit underweight, isn't he? Good morning, Galactus. Hello, ladies. No ladies here, pal. Sorry to disappoint. The ladies already weighed in, and they made weight. Still no weight misses so far, but welcome. Great to see you, sir. Appreciate you tuning in so very much. Any questions, comments, concerns you might have, happy to address them. So let's get back to questions as we continue to wait for one more champion, Deiveson Figueiredo, waiting for him. Brad Riddell at lightweight, Stephen Peterson at featherweight, right? I should probably know that. Yes, of course, taking on Chase Hooper. So three more down. We have 59 minutes until weigh-ins are done. Sooner, depending on what happens, or how quickly people come out. Excuse me. So, yeah, gotta love it. All right, so going back to things here. Now, probably very unlikely, most likely, by their own showtime. But yep, exactly what I'm saying in regard to the Bellator light heavyweight and featherweight tournament finals. For those of you just tuning in, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your friends to hang out. Let's see what else do we got here. All right. Do you think Ryan Bader showed enough in the Lyoto fight to show he's still a possible title challenger? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, it was Lyoto at this stage in his career, but Ryan did what he was supposed to do. And, he started maybe a little bit slow in those first 2 rounds. Probably having flashbacks of the first fight. Hard not to, but went in there, did his thing. I still haven't seen that full fight, actually, but I know a lot of people are saying it could have been stopped before it went to the full 5, which totally fair. I wasn't even a fan of that rematch in the first place, but, got to do what you got to do. So, yeah, I think Ryan Bader very well could end up in the finals, and it is ridiculous that he's in the tournament at all because he's the heavyweight champion, right? Like, I can't believe they even put him in it, but he's a name. He's a former light heavyweight champ. I would be interested in an MCOP rematch, but at the same time, I prefer freshness, so we'll see what happens. But that's why it's so exciting. So, all right. I think Corey Anderson, Piper Bader's make or break for Bader, light heavyweight title career. Yeah, that's fair. That's certainly fair because Corey, if you want to look at the more fresher opponents or people that Bader hasn't fought, but more they're in their prime. Let's find it that way because Machida obviously not at his best anymore, whereas Corey Anderson looks phenomenal right now. He's absolutely better than ever. So that's going to be a very interesting fight. I'm happy that we're seeing that one because, like I said, fresh matchup again. So, yes, absolutely is a very important one for Bader. Very tough one too. We'll see how their wrestling kind of cancels out if it does at all. Then in the striking, I have to give the edge to Bader, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe not by a lot, but I would. Galactus asking some personal questions. Do you use any kind of oil or cream treatment on that mustache? It looks magnanimous. Magnanimous. I absolutely love that word. Great choice there. No, I actually don't use any beard oils or creams or anything like that. I did have some hair oil. Used to use some Moroccan oil, like when I was originally growing out. The first time I grew out a bun, which was in like 2018-ish. That was for my hair, and I would put it in the facial hair a little bit. And it's fantastic stuff. I do recommend Moroccan oil. Very good. Makes it silky smooth. But no, I've never used any specifically for facial hair. I have used wax for my mustache, but it's not long enough right now. I trimmed it a couple months ago because masks, and I just started to look a little bit crazy, especially as I dyed my hair. It was just a lot. There was a lot going on. I wish people would have told me how insane I looked. And I probably still look insane, but yeah. So all natural Galactus, but appreciate it. So appreciate the interest and the use of magnanimous. That's excellent. So, all right, Alan says it will be hard for him to get another shot at the light heavyweight title. Oh, at the heavyweight title he meant for Vader. But yeah, yep, very true. Yeah, he'll have to work his way up. And I mean, the fact that he didn't even get an instant rematch in the first place is kind of telling of maybe Bellator's interest in putting him back in there, you know. So, yeah, he does have that heavyweight title, and he'll have a ready and willing interim champion coming up here soon, which I do not care really for that fight at all. What, Tim Johnson and Moldavsky? I mean, Moldavsky is fun to watch, and he finished Big Country, right? So he's an interesting guy, but I don't know. Bellator's heavyweight division just does not do very much for me. Busato, good to see you, sir. Thanks for tuning in. Marvin, the new Rocky Marciano in the UFC, he says. I'm not a boxing guy, so I believe Rocky Marciano is a boxing reference, right? So I can't really comment on that, but appreciate your comments. So is Rocky Marciano a very angry, easily angered, heated individual? Is he Italian? You tell me. Marciano sounds definitely Italian. Either way, Vettori is fired up. And MMA, check it out, you guys. Read my thoughts from yesterday's press conference. I wrote about all of the fights that we talked about, or all the fights and fighters that were on stage. So shared some thoughts there, and of course, happy to share them here as well. And I think we're going to try and do another post weigh-in pre-show, as I've done for the last two events that I've covered. See if I can grab the special guest this time. Do you guys want to see a repeat? Do you want Oscar and Jose again? That was fun last time. We could bring back Amy. We could get some new faces, mix and match a little bit. See what I can do. Any suggestions or specific interests? Happy to oblige. And of course, any questions that you guys might have for fighters post-fight, as the fights are going on tomorrow, hit me up. Let me know what you're curious to ask the individuals, and I will do my very best to get them answered for you as they come backstage after their wins. So yeah, happy to do so. Man of the people, gotta stay hydrated. And Galactus says, bring some chicks. Okay. All right, I'll try and do the ladies show. See what we can do. It's all about that, aren't you? Okay. So as we wait here, still just 3 fighters remain. For those of you tuning in, nobody has missed weight yet. Israel Adesanya was the last to the scale. First to the scale was Leon Edwards, which, not surprising. I don't think he's ever been a guy who's had weight trouble of any sort. Pretty perfectly fit for welterweight, I would say. His frame, all that kind of thing. So yeah, he was ready to go right out the gate. Adesanya took his time a little bit just to come in underweight. I think he was taking his time. That's all that indicates. When you wait an hour into the weigh-ins, when you're underweight by 1.5 pounds. He was 183.5. Come on, man, you're just making us wait. That's the funny thing, right? It's that it's just how it goes. All right. Alan asks, when do you think Usman versus Covington 2 happens? Let's see. We've got 265, which is Nunes and Pena, but they're wanting to do a main event, different title fight for the main event there. And Dana said, ideally, working on not Stipe, Francis versus Lewis 2. So we'll just assume that one there. And then 266 is Volkanovski Ortega, which is September. They could very well throw it on there. That'd be a great doubleheader. I still believe that after Leon wins. Yes, I'm throwing that out there. After Leon wins, he should get the title shot. But it seems we're stuck with the Covington rematch, which will be fun. But in terms of who should get it, I don't quite think he should. But it is what it is. We'll still watch, of course. But yeah, I think 266 is probably a safe bet. They've been doing a lot of double title fight events recently. So this year, I don't even know how frequently that happens. What was the last? Was 260 the last? Was just one title fight? Like, if I feel like it's hard to remember those ones where we only get one title fight on an event now. It happens so often with all these fights going on. But yeah, I feel like it's got to be 266, right? When was Colby versus Woodley? That was a while ago. Galactus. Oh, this is a great question. If Nate Diaz had offered you a hit of his joint, would you have accepted? So I'm not really a weed guy, a marijuana guy. I don't like the smoking concept, right? Like I'll have an edible if it's available to me. I don't go out of my way for marijuana ever. It's like if my friends have the pens or whatever, I'll hit that because I don't know, they're not as harsh like joints. It always burns my throat, so I wouldn't regularly do that. But if Nate Diaz offered me, how do you say no? Yes, I would have accepted. I would have taken the tiniest hit ever, but I would have done it for sure. Especially since I don't have to worry about anything like I guess Moreno could have. But again, he's also a fighter, and I'm not a professional. He's a professional athlete, so yeah, I would have done it for sure. I just had to preface that, of course. Alan also mentions Jan versus Glover 266. All right, I forgot about that. That was such a quiet announcement, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. Shit. I mean, another 3 title fight card in 1 year. I mean, that would be nuts. Could see it. If you were to go with all 3 of those, that'd be awesome. But yeah, I mean, that timing kind of lines up, man. So yeah, it will be interesting. Let's see, 266 or 267. There's no way it's not one of those, right? Absolutely has to be, unless something silly happens, which hopefully not. Knock on wood. So Leon or Nate or Wonder Boy, whoever's next, doesn't have to wait so long, right? Absolutely. Maybe Francis versus Lewis too, but not done yet, but possible, yeah. And Francis, today he said he wants to fight John Jones, which we already knew, but like he said it again, which kind of reiterates how he feels about the whole situation. And welcome, Danielle. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Don't know which fight you're asking about, but it seems the Glover one, which Alan answered. Thank you, Alan. Such a great interactive guest you are. I really appreciate it, man. We all do here at SCMP. You're always on these things. Means a lot. So, what do we have here? Let me just check the Twitters real quick. As we wait for 3 more. Still awaiting Deiveson Figueiredo, who, that's the scare, right? That's a bit of a scare. Just because we know he missed weight for the first title fight. His first title fight, not this first fight with Moreno, but we know he got a lot of weight for flyweight. So if we're going to make bets right now, you guys, I feel like Figueiredo is going to be the last one to the scale out of these 3, out of everybody. And if one of them is going to admit, Peterson is also, I think, a guy who has a bigger weight cut. Riddell. I mean, at this stage, it's all speculation, right? With 45 minutes remaining. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. This is where things get very interesting at weigh-in day. So, All right, let's get back to the comments. Appreciate you all so much. Thank you for tuning in. Again, forget to like, share, and subscribe to SCMP MMA YouTube channel. Follow along for all the great articles, interviews on the website. I spoke to Pani Kianzad on a one-on-one the other day, media day. She's fighting Alexis Davis, the last prelim. Check that out if you haven't yet. And I do have 3 more interviews dropping after this week is done. Marina Rodriguez, Diana Afsaragova, and Ayaka Mura. So we got 3 promotions, 3 different promotional, not flyweights, 2 flyweights, 1 strawweight. But Marina fought at flyweight in her last fight. That's UFC, Bellator, and 1 action that you're going to be getting from me. All very fun, great discussions with them. Look forward to those after UFC 263 fight week, you guys. They're already all good to go. We're just kind of, don't want to throw them into the mix and get lost in the shuffle, but they'll be coming out soon. All right, I got totally sidetracked by their doing the plugs, and don't forget Fantasy Fanatics Fantasy MMA app too. Go check them out. Which should probably put that banner up or throw it in here as well. That'll make Nick happy and the boys, of course. But Galactus asks, did you see Nate trying to offer Brandon Moreno a hit at the press conference? I did not see it. I wasn't looking over there when this happened, but apparently that is what happened, right? And yeah, Nate literally rolled up a joint and smoked it at the press conference. Did see that. Definitely saw that. I didn't see the interaction there in that case. Yeah. Thanks so much, Alan. We're doing our best, man. As I said before hopping in here. Galactus, I'll take over or take on Figgy being last to the scale. Oh, take the over. Oh, I totally read that wrong. Yeah, we'll see. Looks like we might have another person come in. So, see. And appreciate it as well, Galactus. Yeah, man. Sure, we all try to be men of the people here. Without you guys, there is no us. So we do our best with what we do, and then for what you guys want to see. So happy to help in any way we can that way. So yeah, man. Couldn't do it without you. Appreciate you tuning in. As I flick through the banners here, there is. Can I do? Oh, this is what I'm going to do. Watch this. The power of StreamYard, so that they're both on the screen at the same time. There's that, and we can go like that. Perfect. I didn't even think. But there we go. That's some multitasking. Oh, but then it takes that away. So, well, I guess that's fine because I'm here now, so I can update you. And before we get to this question, I think we're about to get. I can't tell, but John Anik is ready and waiting. But real quick, if Figgy loses, do you think he stays for a trilogy or does he go to bantamweight? I think he definitely stays for the trilogy. How do you not? Because I'll be so surprised if this fight isn't incredible again. And I don't know. It would really suck for Askar, right? But I feel like, Moreno, this guy, really sleeper star yesterday. It was crazy how popular he was. Really did not see that coming. Fans loved him. So, and just the rivalry that this has turned into, I think it would be hard for the UFC not to try and make that. But again, depending on how things go here in a matter of moments, man, we got 40 more minutes. 41. No, there's 40. Just turned 20. Yeah, I think bantamweight is probably in his future for sure. But I don't know. If he loses, I think that trilogy it's just too easy not to do. And this could even turn into a quadrilogy, right? The first fight was a draw. We could see the flyweight version of Arlovsky and Sylvia, except much better fights, right? So, yeah. And what did they fight? 5 times? No, it was just 4, right? So, yeah. Alan asking, am I a gamer? Yes, I definitely am. I play Apex every single night. That's like my nightly therapy relaxation time these days. Yeah, I have not playing this week, obviously, but I've been playing since like the back half of season 8, all the way since then. And I played that game from when it came out to like season 4-ish, 4-5, pretty consistently. And then now I'm just so back in love with it. It's so great. That's about all I'm playing these days, but I play plenty of games, and yeah, man, big time gamer. I love video games for sure. So, Alan hopes that Ukes and developers of UFC Undisputed far superior to the EA games. I haven't bought the 4th one because it just looks so terrible to me, and I played 3 and they've gotten like worse over time. The 2nd one was very good, but UFC Undisputed 3, far and away the best UFC game ever made. The game is so good. And as you mentioned, Amazing Pride mode, yep, that was in there. The Great Event mode, that was my favorite. A Ryzen video game, as he suggests here, that would be awesome, but I don't know. I can't see that happening, unfortunately. Would be very, very cool. I think it would be great to just have an overall MMA game, which was kind of what sorry, got some messages here. That's what EA MMA was supposed to be, right? With a Strike Force game, essentially. That's how I always looked at it. I never got to play that one. People said it was great. Never got to play it, but it would be really cool to have just an MMA game, which I guess that was, but the roster wasn't like, you need the roster to be massive for that, which I think is probably the big problem, is getting the rights to everybody. So that'll probably never happen unless it's like Fire Pro, right? Fire Pro Wrestling, which I never played that game either, but I know its customization is just insane. So yeah, indeed. Let's keep going along here. Galactus asking if Fig wins, he should go up and fight for the other title. If he wins that, he should fight Henry Cejudo twice, once in each weight. Well, no, that's thinking outside the box. I would love to see Figueiredo versus Cejudo. Man, we missed out on that one, dude. That would have been. That's a great fight. That's a great matchup. But yeah, I think we'll definitely see him. If he continues to win and remain champion, he'll be fighting some bantamweights at some point, and that'll be exciting too. So I don't know if that'll happen. We'll see what happens with Henry. If he comes back, would love to see him back, but not holding my breath. I think he's pretty serious about it, even though he talks about boxing and stuff now. So Alan says Fedor, talking to Rigomi, Krokop, King Mo, Horiguchi, Escobar, and many more that could be in that game. It'd be so great. That would be so great. What console? So I grew up a PlayStation guy. And I don't remember when I switched to 360, to Xbox going to 360, but it was around like middle schoolish. I'm trying to think of like which games were out that time. I think it might have been for like Gears of War. Gears of War 1 was already out, and also Gears of War is one of my games, one of my favorite series of all time. I was actually top 50 in the world at Warzone in Gears 3, so I was kind of really into that. Me and my buddies had a full squad. It was some of the funnest times of my life, which is embarrassing to say, but man, when you get sucked into a game like that and you just have so much fun with it, it is what it is. So yeah, Gears kind of brought me over to Xbox, I think, for the most part, and maybe some other exclusives that I wanted. But I've always been an Xbox guy, and I still am an Xbox guy. I haven't got the new one yet. I'm waiting until I just kind of have some more time, and I'm bored with Apex, essentially, because I do want Cyberpunk, but I've heard all the terrible things about it, so I want to get it on the Xbox X. What is that? What's it called? So, still waiting on that, just for a little bit more time until they're more easily available, I guess. So I do play on Xbox, but since I got my Switch, I've been playing Apex on Switch for this recent run. I haven't played Xbox in months. I just, yeah, I was also a big Nintendo guy too. Loved Pokemon growing up and still play some Pokemon. But yeah, man, the Switch is taking over for me just because I love the Switch ability, right? The fact that it can go handheld to screen. I think it's the best, one of the most smartest gaming inventions of all time. And I wish that everyone would just shamelessly copy it, because if Xbox sets up like that, then I would just stick with Xbox. But the Switch is my jam these days. I've been playing on that, and they're bringing all these not so Nintendo-y kind of games over, which is great. Like Apex and things you wouldn't typically see shooters, right? And I mean, even I got the BioShock trilogy for Switch, which fantastic deal. Never played BioShock. I beat the first one, and it was a real slog at the end. Boy, so I'm struggling to finish that, and then Apex got back into it once it dropped for Switch, and I'm like in the middle of the second game on BioShock, but I haven't played that since I hopped back on Apex. So Xbox and Switch these days, for sure. Yeah, I think those are the only consoles. So, yeah, Alan agrees he doesn't see it happening. Maybe Ukes could do a one championship game. Yeah, and I mean, what they were talking about, one championship wants to do a game, don't they? But they need to worry about some other things. So, that is what that is. Galactus, that's my gamer tag. And do you have Discord? I do have Discord. And I believe it is, I don't know if I want to share these personal things here in the live chat, but you can hit me up on Twitter, Galactus, and I will let you know for sure. And whoever else is interested, but I don't think I'm just going to put it out there because I like to keep some things fairly separate, But yeah, happy to play for sure. And carry you all to a victory. No, I'm just kidding. Alan asks, have I played Fight Night Champion? Maybe, and I say maybe because one of my buddies in high school had one of the last games, right? Because it's been so long since they did that. I don't remember if I ever played it, so I probably didn't. But I know everybody liked it, but no, I've never played Fight Night Champion. With the PS5. Hey, Ghost Phantom is in the chat. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for tuning in. I saw you DM me. I just kind of glanced at it because I'm a little bit busy here, obviously, as we're in the weigh-in room, waiting for three more. Let's see, I forgot. We got Figueiredo, Riddell, Peterson still waiting here, Ghost. But I appreciate you dropping in, man. It means a lot. It means the world coming to hang out with me. Otherwise, I'd just be bored here and annoying other people. What was that? Did my mic go away? Can you guys still hear me? Oh, it was the other one. Why did that happen? Okay, that was weird. It said that the mic went away. It muted me. It muted the camera, which might have been because of no sound. No, I don't know. It keeps doing it, so won't worry about it until I need it. But either way, you guys can hear it through here. So interesting technical issue there, but is what it is. So yeah, back to the question. What's up, Drake? Says Ghost Phantom. Why is everyone trying to make a prediction based on how Vettori acted at the press conference? Because it's easy. It's fun. There's all these internet psychologists out there, right, Ghost Phantom? MMA fans will do that till the end of time. So just how it goes. And I guess admittedly, I did kind of do that. I don't know if you saw the article I wrote yesterday, and then I shared this morning. I mentioned it earlier to the guys that are already in the chat. Shared my thoughts on SCMP.com/MMA about the press conferences. And yeah, I guess I kind of did it too, but not to the same effect as I'm sure you're seeing it, Ghost. But yeah, we're all internet psychologists, aren't we? Alan, have I played Retromania Wrestling on the Switch? I have not. Should I get into that? Yeah, last wrestling game that I played was WWE 2K18, I think, and that got kind of boring after a little bit. Sequel to WrestleFest. I never played that one either, but I've heard people say great things about it. Yeah, UFC 5 on the Switch. Anything on the Switch, man. Give me anything on the Switch, honestly. It's just I love that versatility. So, Alvin is up in here. Great to see you, man. Good afternoon to you as well. I mean, still morning for me, but yeah. Okay, good. You can still hear me, but yeah. So the camera mic is muted right now, which it just says StreamYard. Stop doing that for whatever reason. There, I turned it back on, but let's see if it turns it off again, because there's nothing. Obviously, Anik's not talking to the mic right now, so yeah, I don't know why I did that. Okay, no, it gave me that notification again, but I put that there myself, so whatever, StreamYard. All right. Then Alvin says, thank you for covering UFC 263. No problem, man. Just doing my job, literally. This is how I live. I need to do this, and I want to do it, but I also need to do it. So, no, thank you for tuning in and having interest enough to help support the cause, essentially, and help us help. You're helping me help you get content, I guess. So, it's, yeah, goes full circle. That's what we got here. Okay. Definitely recommend the, what is it called? Not the WrestleFest, Retromania. All right, I will try and remember that. I'll honestly probably forget because it's happening right now in the middle of this, and then there's still more to come this weekend, but I will do my best to remember. Maybe message me about that as well, Alan, if you have Twitter. If not, comment it on one of my YouTube videos or something. All right, Ghost did see the article. It makes great points, and his style is based on poking and prodding, and that's what he does. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think that just when you look at historically his career too, the Blahovic fight this last time out really didn't seem as motivated as maybe he should have been. Like, seems like a guy who kind of needs that fire a little bit. Doesn't need it, obviously. He clearly doesn't need it, but it certainly helps. And his performances have been a lot better when there's some heat. You look at the Costa fight, as I mentioned, perfect example of that. So, yeah, Retromania. Yep. Favorite wrestling game, though, asks Ellen. Oh boy. So, my mind went right to the nostalgic choice, which is, what was it? WCW Nitro and NWO Invasion, the Nintendo 64 one, with Richard Goldberg was on the cover, Hulk Hogan. You know which game I'm talking about. That one's a classic, right? So that one came right to mind for the nostalgia. I played that a lot as a kid, and I'll tell you right now, I also enjoyed the what was that wrestling game with the cars where everybody was like a driver and they were it was like a derby, like everyone's trying to crush each other. I don't remember what that was called. That might have been what it was called, Crush or something. But I thought that game was really fun too. It was really stupid, obviously, but I don't know. It was fun. And then I did play the SmackDown versus Raws up until like 2010 or 11 maybe. And out of those, I probably couldn't tell you which one I thought was the best. Maybe the one with DX on the cover. As you see in my interviews, a DX fan growing up, my background. But yeah, I don't know. Those games were all pretty fun. Just was that Ukes also? They just know how to make wrestling / MMA games. So they should do that again. Oh, Here Comes the Pain. I forgot all about that one. That one was phenomenal. That was phenomenal. And also Shut Your Mouth was the very first one that I played. And I really liked that one too for like the backstage aspect or in story mode. I thought that was great. I thought that was really fun. Here Comes the Pain though. Yeah, that's a very good choice. Yeah, forgot all about that one. Alvin asking, was I able to speak with Adesanya? No. I was not, unfortunately. I didn't really try, honestly, because it's not easy, and he's already getting asked by plenty of other people to talk to him. But maybe next time we'll get to ask him at the presser if he wins. So there's always that. And if you got any questions, Alvin, I don't know if you heard what I said, but if you guys have anything you want fighters asked about, feel free to hit me up. Ghost Phantom knows this already. I'm going to try and ask one of his questions for Adesanya, assuming Adesanya wins, right? Because I guess he'll probably talk if he loses too. He did last time. So we'll see. I'll see. But yeah, no one-on-ones with him, Alvin, unfortunately. Yeah, I spoke to Pani Kianzad one-on-one, though. If you didn't see that, check that out. She is fantastic. We have that bun power. We had that synergy with the same hairstyle, which was really funny because I almost didn't wear my hair that way on that day. And then she had it that way, and she had it that way just now also. And she pointed out to me, I didn't even realize at first that we were doing the same thing. It was kind of funny. Yes, there it is. Crush Hour. That's the one, Alan. I really enjoyed that game. So stupid. I mean, honestly, I think wrestling is maybe the dumbest thing in the world, professional wrestling, but it's so hard not to be entertained by it because it's so silly. And the backstage process behind it fascinates me. Just fascinates me. So, yep. I'll get back to questions and comments here in a moment, you guys, but 10:37 a.m. Pacific time. So time is dwindling. We're almost to the 20-minute mark with 3 fighters remaining, one of them being the champion at flyweight, Deiveson Figueiredo, Brad Riddell at lightweight, Steven Peterson at featherweight. Riddell takes on Drew Dober. Peterson takes on Chase Hooper. Figueiredo, obviously, ran a rematch. No weight misses so far. It's getting close though for the final 3. All right. Ghost Fan asks, where can we watch Ramon Pascal on Icon 7? Great question. I think that's on Fight Pass, and I know that. Shout out to Nick, our boy Nick Atkin. He put something in our group chat on WhatsApp, but I didn't quite get to look at it this morning because weigh-in day is a little bit of a scramble right now, and you have to wake up early and just kind of go. So I didn't quite see, but I can get back to you on that, Ghost Phantom. I think it's on Fight Pass. I think it is. I feel pretty comfortable about that, but I'm not sure. Maybe somebody else can help answer that. But we'll see. I will. Sorry, guys. Icon 7, though. Check it out. Ramon Pascal. Even Amanda Serrano is back. One of the best boxers of all time. And yes, Clarissa Shields fought last night. Maybe we can get into that a little bit. I have some thoughts for sure, which will be shared on the WMA Today podcast. Shameless plug on Monday when I return home. Check that out. It's basically my edition with people adding stuff to the game even to this day. Oh, the retro one that you're talking about? Okay, that's pretty cool. I always like that kind of thing. All right, Galactus, see you on Twitter. Appreciate it. At @DrakeRiggs_, you guys. I would add the banners here so it would be up all the time, but then it would do it for the camera as well, which feels pointless. It's not pointless though, because we're just doing it. Here, I'm going to do it. It's all for the brand, right? No, it doesn't even work. It doesn't even work when you have everything on the screen, so never mind. Pointless, entirely pointless. All right, Alan, you did see it. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm my own worst critic, so I felt like in the moment I didn't feel like it was very good, but Panny's awesome, and we've known each other for a bit now. I actually want to talk to her. I hit her up on like Friday or Thursday, very late, and I was like, "Hey, you wanna chat before this? I'm actually gonna be there. I'll see you. We'll get to meet in person because I've interviewed her, talked to her, before." And yeah, she didn't respond. I was like, "Well, I get it. I've late," so she felt really bad about that, but made it happen. She's great. We'll probably try and catch up with her again after this fight if she wins. You like to let people have some time, especially if they lose. But either way, we'll talk to Payne again. She is great. Very much looking forward to that fight as well. Kind of a surprising one, as I mentioned. Did not myself expect her to get Alexis Davis next, but she said they were working on the Pennington fight as she wanted, which is great. The fight that should have happened. Hopefully she can win this one, and then, well, hopefully if she wins this one, she can get that one that she wants. So, Alan asked thoughts on Vettori boxing Tarzan next Saturday. Don't even care. Don't even care. All of that boxing shit. Just no thank you. And I know there's something happening tonight, which don't ask me about that either. I'm not entertaining it. Figueiredo, good to see you, man. It's been a while. I feel like I haven't seen you pop up in forever. How are you doing? Great to see you here. Thanks so much. We got 3 fighters left to weigh in, so cannot wait till tomorrow. We got 19 minutes for Deiveson, Figueiredo, Brad Riddell, and Steven Peterson. Everyone else has made weight. Adesanya was underweight, as he is usually. But great to see you, man. Thank you for tuning in. Here comes the pain. Alan mentions, which I've talked about so much since then, I don't remember what he might be responding with right there. But okay, so Figueiredo asking about Tension's match against 3 different opponents tomorrow night. Technically Sunday morning, surely for most of you, and it will majorly be that for me as well, which is going to be a doozy to go from this event to Ryzen, because I am going to do that because it's Ryzen 28 in the Tokyo Dome. Come on, can't miss that. It's going to be a huge card. So yeah, Tension is taking on 3 different opponents in the same fight. You guys, for those who don't know, very Fight Circus-ish. At Ryzen, in the first round, he'll face an opponent. I don't remember who specifically. Second round, it'll be Hiroya, who took on Shibatar on New Year's Eve, who was the mystery opponent for Shibatar. And then in the third round, he has a mystery opponent again. So I'm like, who's this going to be? It's got to be Shibatar, right? That'd be hilarious and perfect, considering he had one last time. But yeah, so it's going to be a boxing match for each 3 of these rounds, except they can do spinning back fists. This is what I remember hearing. I could be totally wrong because Ryzen, gets down to the wire with how they explain some of the rules and whatnot. But I would imagine it's got to be an exhibition to Guru, which he followed that up with, because 3 opponents in one fight, each different rounds, and then the modified rules. It's not kickboxing, right? And Ryzen doesn't do boxing. I'm not 100% sure on that. I can find out for you, definitely. But it's gonna be ridiculous one way or another. And also, if Tension loses in one of those rounds, and I believe only if he gets knocked out, right? Let's say he gets knocked out in the first round, which would be madness. Then the fight's over. He doesn't just go on no matter what. Well, that makes sense. I think maybe they're doing it if he loses the round. Not sure. It's a whole crazy thing, but it's cool, right? It's exciting. So yeah, let's see. All right. My bad for not being specific, but yeah, there's people still working on those almost 20-year-old games. Yes. Yeah, very cool to see, man. People love what they love, and only makes it feel newer and newer. That's the fun part about mods, for sure. One of my friends is always telling me to get a PC, but I'm like, I'm already on the computer all day, every day. I want to separate myself a bit, which is why I like the Switch. And even though I don't play the Switch on the handheld very much, unless I'm usually for YouTube, that's the best part about it. If I'm watching some shows or podcasts or whatever on the TV, and then I'm like, all right, I want to go make some food or whatever, just bring it with you. That's my favorite thing, I think. But then, if you're on a road trip or whatever, not driving, there's also that possibility. I it's just that versatility, man, as I said. But that Figueiredo hype for UFC and Rise on the same day, that back-to-back, man, it's always a good time when that happens. Going to be a little bit stressful and hectic for me, but we'll make it work. And Pat OJ and I over at the Body Lock are still going to try and do our intermission show. So tune in for that, you guys. And I will tell you, I know when that will be. There's just going to be one. It is going to be right before the co-main event, which is that tension boxing match. There'll be one intermission. Not sure how long. I think at 20 minutes at least. But regardless, tension is going. Oh, it depends on how quickly the fights before that go, right? So if they're all decisions, intermission's going to be short because tension's going to walk out. His walkout will be at 8 o'clock Japan time, no matter what. And so, yeah, intermission will be before that, as will the intermission show. So my lips are chapping a little bit doing all this talking. But that's just how it goes. All right. Ghost Phantom, you might be able to ask Brad Riddell how CKB trains their vision, since they all have good eyes. Yeah, I could ask him that as well, as that's the question that I will plan to ask Adesanya, if possible. I mean, kind of would feel weird to ask that to him if he loses, but I'll see. Oh, man. All right. Yeah, I need some chapstick. Hold on, you guys. Give me a second here. I did not mean to get in the camera like that. I forgot it was right there. That's the fun of live video, right? Okay. Rain, good to see you, my man. WMA Today podcast in the house, representing Kano Watanabe Army. My man. I love to see it. Love to see it. Thank you. Thank you for checking out all the fun over here on weigh-in day. I'll see. Good to see you as well, man. Good to see you. This looks like a good card. We'll try to squeeze in watching this in between Euros. There you go. There you go. Alan, do I watch any current pro wrestling? I do. I shamefully admit that I do. Yeah. I can't watch full shows anymore. I really can't. But I watch highlights of shows. Mainly AEW. Mostly just Dynamite. I don't check out really the other stuff, depending on who's on it. And WWE is just garbage for the most part, but I am interested in some of the storylines and everything going on with certain people, but I don't really care about the full shows on WWE anymore. But yeah, I follow AEW pretty closely. I enjoy it in highlights, right? I just can't sit through full matches anymore. It's a pro wrestling fan. It's dope rising at Tokyo Dome. Yep, been 18 years. Really wish you could attend. We all do, man. We all do. So, all right, 12 minutes left until we're done here. So we're getting down to the wire, you guys. Getting down to the wire. All right. Figueiredo asks, who is your guess for the third opponent of tension? Some rumors that it could be Gooch. Ooh, that'd be cool, but I don't know, because what Horiguchi, he had to be in the U.S. recently, right? And I don't think it would have been a problem for him to get there as a like Tofik and Bugar or anything like that. But I don't know. It seems like I can't see him going for that. As cool as that would be. I really hope it's Shivatara. I really do, just for the whole madness of the whole thing. Because Hiroya is going to be bigger than tension for sure, right? So it seems like all bets are off in that regard. I've seen people mention Naoya Inoue, right? The boxer, which could you imagine that? Again, not much of a boxing guy, but you want to go big for Tokyo Dome? There you go. I don't know. I feel like you got to narrow it down to one of those big ones, though. So it could be somebody. There's also Ren. People are speculating Ren Hiramoto, which Okay, that'd be fine too. That'd be cool. Maybe one of those 4. I don't know, man. It's tough to decide. At the 10-minute mark now, you guys. 10 more minutes until weigh-ins are done. 3 more fighters, the champ included. Getting a little scary. Getting a little bit scary. LC hopes the Scottish fighters do well. Bias, you're from Scotland? Well, thank you for tuning in from Scotland, man. Yeah. They both have very tough matchups. I'll say that much. Paul Craig and Jamal Hill and JoJo Calderwood and Lauren Murphy, very tough ones. And if you go to the Fanatics Fantasy MMA app, there at the bottom, I am actually picking against both of them, so I apologize. I like both of them very much, but I gotta call it how I see it as well. Yeah, Ryzen is having more limited attendance than New Japan was having. Yeah, and it's a bummer. Sabu says JHK and speculated Mr. X is captain of Virginia Academy, Capitan. Is he not tied up with one anymore? Because if he is, no way. No chance in hell that's happening. It would be cool, but yeah, if he's still closely connected with one, not happening. I can promise you that. And if I'm wrong, then cool, I guess. Let's see. Attention is coming at 8 p.m. GSP, then it seems like it's going to be a long show. Oh, I got somebody. Let me see if I can get the audio back. BRB, everybody. Okay, so it appears we're having some issues here. Hold on a second, you guys. Stephen Peterson is on the scale right now, but the audio and the video decided to not work. For whatever reason. I don't know what happened. But
148 and 1/2 pounds, the official weight for Stephen Peterson.
148 and a half. Stephen Peterson, first fighter to this weight. So, not great. We're still having issues here. Gotta love that. Well, good thing I popped in here so I can inform you guys of what's happening. I guess I could actually turn this. But I don't know what is happening here, you guys. Hold on. How annoying. How incredibly annoying. It says that something else is opened. But Stephen Peterson misses weight. First fighter to miss weight. Don't think he's going to try again, but waiting kind of to hear. This is silver, though. I don't know what happened. All right, well, let's hop back in here for a second. Yes, 3 pounds over Galactus. who Masato apparently said no to that. So for the technical difficulties right here, I will let you know that there is. I do have that recording though, so we will have that fixed despite this live nonsense. I really don't understand why this is happening, which is just lovely. It says that I'm using something else, but let's do a replug. So here, hold on. Apologies, everybody. Thank you for sticking. The fun of live. A little replug action there. There we go. Okay. Really bizarre. Now you don't have to look at me anymore. How do we switch? Oh, there we go. Nice and easy. All right. Don't you hate that? Don't you hate that? Okay, so now that we're back with 4 minutes remaining, we just have 2 more fighters. We are waiting for Deiveson Figueiredo and Brad Riddell. So the champ and one of the lightweight contenders. All right, here comes one of them.
All right, next fighter to the scale, taking part in the feature proven live on ESPN in the UFC's lightweight division, Brad Quake Riddell. $155, the official weight for Brad Riddell.
Sorry. My bad. Sorry. Let's go. I'm still healthy. I'm good. I'm good.
All right, and our last fighter to weigh in this morning is the undisputed UFC flyweight champion, Deiveson Figueiredo. $125, the official weight for the champ, Deiveson Figueiredo. Your flyweight title fight is official.
How about that? Gets it done. All right, you guys, there we have it. All fighters have weighed in. It is 11 o'clock, which means end of the the road. Here, let's do a little side by side action here, since we're fully in the zone now. I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter now that everything's done, right? So let's get this out of here. All right. There we have it, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was great to see you all. Great to comment, chat, and keep me some company as we were getting through the fighters here. Good to go. Everybody except for Steve Peterson made weight. We were all set. We needed some towel boxes, but we're good. We're all good. Title fights are all a go. We'll see you tomorrow night, you guys. Tune in to SCMP MMA YouTube channel. Check out the website, all that good stuff. We'll have all the post-fight interviews. I was going to say press conferences, but the post-fight discussion with the fighters, the winners, and Dana White, everybody after the fights happen on fight night tomorrow night. Do not miss it. UFC 263, as well as plenty of other things going on in the MMA world. But appreciate you so much for tuning in, you guys. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time. And